I'm going to get cancelled, aren't I? That's it. I'm getting
Toby's a sports masseuse, market leader, industry leader in the country. UFC stars, we've got boxing stars. Courtney Black season ticket holder. When you're rubbing Usain Bolt, you've done something right.
Yeah.
Right, Usain Bolt, give me the lowdown. Talk me through from start to finish. Like, how does he book? Do you get a text from like Usain with his plus whatever fucking make a number is that says, "Hi mate, can I get a little massage?" Him in the lands after they've just done the 400 meter relay world record in his little photo. Like, how does that come about? What is your proudest moment?
Oh, good question. Those are some of the hardest days, is when you realise that you're actually being a dick to the people that are really trying to help you.
I set up my business here and it catastrophically failed.
But the hardest thing, and I think the thing that people stress about and also they don't really talk about, is kind of taboo, is borrowing from your friend to pay somebody else that you've borrowed from to pay the staff that you said that you were going to pay. My company is a massage company. Yeah. Now, if you type Massage Dubai into Google, there might be a couple other things that come up. We're running ads at one point when a new member of staff came in and we wanted to get them busy fast. Yeah. And we had to switch them off between 8 p.m. and 5 a.m.
Have you ever been massaging somebody and been like, "Can I have a happy ending?"
I don't know where this podcast is getting aired, but I will tell you a story.
Like, would I know this person? Welcome to the show where we talk to successful people about the bits you don't normally see. Today we're talking to Toby Harris. Toby and I have been friends in Dubai for quite a while now, 3-4 years. Here's some of your best bits, Toby. So I was flicking through your Instagram this morning. Toby's a sports masseuse, market leader, industry leader in the country, if not the region. And yeah, having a flick through, we've got UFC stars, we've got boxing stars, Courtney Black season ticket holder. You seem to be with her every week. We've got the coolest one for me by far, mate. You're probably going to know straight away. Usain Bolt.
Usain Bolt.
That is cool as fuck, mate. We're going to come back to him because that's very cool. Partnering, we've just been speaking about this, or potentially partnering with some of the biggest gyms in the country. We'll come back onto that too. Traveling down to Saudi, you're sending people down there. You've got a big staff as well of experts in this. So talk us through it. Where are you at? What you got going on?
Oh, thanks for that, Callum. I actually haven't scrolled down my Instagram for a while. Maybe I should do that to refresh, because I think sometimes it's very easy to think that you've not done enough and not gotten anywhere and not done anything. So maybe I walk down memory lane would be nice.
When you're rubbing Usain Bolt, you've done something right.
Yeah. So yeah, man. I mean, work is up and down. People ask me recently how are things, and it really is up and down, and every entrepreneur will go through that journey of having good bits and bad bits, busy times and I was going to say quiet times, but it's just busy times and busy times, isn't it? Because if you're not busy for business reasons in terms of, let's say, customers, you're busy in the background trying to find them, so it's busy and busy. But yeah, it's been interesting. Recently the company's taken a change in terms of how it's structured. Over the last couple of years I've been trying really hard to grow things, and growth of my business, or growth of any business, I guess, is difficult, expensive. It's a bit of a unmarked path or uncharted territory for anybody who's an entrepreneur or new to business. So there's a lot of making it up as you go along, almost, or at least seeking advice, bringing people on board, and then trying to follow it, but still you're kind of going in a little bit blind. So it's been a long couple of years. You'll know I started from scratch. It was just me and my massage bed and a Nissan Micra cutting around Dubai, rubbing oil in 9-10 people a day. And now there's a team. We've got admin, we've got drivers, we've got therapists. We do training days, training weekends. We work with international sports teams. We work with celebrities, and we travel all over, not just Dubai, but our therapists get flown around the region. So it's gone from A to Z very, very quick in the last few years.
Nice. And you do a lot of support in like people that are doing cool stuff as well. So like last week, a couple of weeks ago, the girl running from Abu Dhabi to Dubai. Talk us through that. Yeah,
we do a lot of cool little events, and I like to stick my hand in the ones that either mean something to me or are being done by people that I like or admire or I like their story. So Lily Collier, she ran from Abu Dhabi to Dubai last week, 100 kilometers she ran, and before that she did a burpee challenge. She did a 24-hour burpee challenge where she broke the world record
Oh, wow.
for the most burpees in 24 hours.
How many was it?
6,576-ish. I might have my numbers wrong, but around about 6,500 burpees in 24 hours.
Like 300 an hour.
If you say so.
I don't know. That was quick mental maths.
Yeah,
That's
maybe.
mad.
That's about 5 a minute.
Yeah.
One every 12 seconds
Yeah.
for 24 hours. Yeah. So I met Lily through the gym scene. So like with my job, I get to meet a lot of athletes and a lot of influencers. And met her through the gym scene, and she approached me and said, "Would you help me with the 24-hour burpee challenge?" And I thought that sounds pretty cool. Let's be involved in a world record. So I was actually there to support her as sort of the medic for the event for 16 or 18 hours out of those 24 hours, which was long. And at times it was just her, me, her best friend, and the Guinness World Record guy, like at a gym, 4 a.m. She's just like getting down on the ground, getting back up, getting down it. And if anybody's ever done like 100 burpees or a 5-minute burpee challenge, you'll understand like how difficult burpees are. So to do 24 hours of it, mental. And I was there basically to make sure that she was hydrated, she was eating the right things, she was doing the right things at the right time in terms of taking breaks, stretching, we're doing massage. And so she asked me to be part of the 100-kilometer challenge. She did it for mental health, for charity. I think she's just one of these ladies that always likes to push and challenge herself and show people that the impossible can be possible. So I was up for 30 hours for that challenge. That's not how long it took her. I think running, she did about 12 or 13 hours of running total. The challenge took about 17 hours. But it was last Friday. I worked all day, had a full day of clients, zoomed over to Abu Dhabi, and then met the support vehicle, which was 3 parts of the media and camera crew, her boyfriend and me. And we basically followed her or met her from checkpoint to checkpoint along this 100-kilometer route from Abu Dhabi to Dubai. Took her about 12 hours. I was up by the time I got home on Saturday. Oh man, I fell asleep on my sofa, but I'd been up for 30 hours. And all she needed during the run was like 2 or 3 stretches and like little rubs of her knees. She didn't even need any physio or like medical support, so she handled it pretty well.
Nice. I would love to get her on the show. You can put me in touch hopefully afterwards.
We can do that.
That'd be great. Thank you. So what other events have you done? There was like a racing one, I think, like cars. Like talk us through some of the other events you've done.
So some of the things in this region, Dubai is a pretty cool place to be because there are so many events happening in this region, and not just like your typical Dubai Rugby Sevens or CrossFit events, which seem to be every week. But there's the Le Mans 24-hour series, which is a car racing series. There are a whole bunch of UFC boxing events. We get people like his name's escaped me. He does all of the music and theme tunes for like every movie you've ever seen.
Oh, I'm not cool with stuff like that.
It'll come back to me.
If it was a UFC guy, I would know, but I'm not cool with stuff like that.
So, I mean, musicians. We'll say musicians. So, like, for example, we were looking after the dancers for, was it Beyonce that came and did the opening of the Atlantis? So we were doing all of her dancers, stuff like that. So there's loads of events that happen, not just in Dubai, but in the region. But, there's a cool one that happens every January called the 24-hour Le Mans series, and it's a 24-hour car racing event, and I go to the racetrack for 24 hours to be the physio for the racing drivers, which is pretty tough going for them and for me.
Probably a bit worse for them, but
so the cars are actually teams of 4.
Okay, fair enough. Maybe not then.
So the drivers switch in, they take stints. Some drivers are better at racing in the day, some are better at racing at night, so they take turns in the car, but I'm there basically for the warm-up and the, let's say, cool down for when they get in and out of the cars. And then when somebody's on the track, there's always a driver that wants something. So I don't really get much of a nap. I'm just living on coffee and Red Bull. And then we do other cool stuff. So like we're the official recovery support partner for like High Rocks, which is massive right now. And that gets us through the door of loads of other stuff. There's government games, which is like I want to say like an obstacle course kind of CrossFit Olympics type thing. There's a whole bunch of different activities and games and races that happen for government games, and we look after like the Dubai police team for that and things. So in this region there's always something going on, not just like sport with your bodies, but sports with cars. There was an F1 style ship or boat racing competition.
Really?
I was doing some of the physio for the guys that captain the boat. So yeah, there's so much going on in this region. It's really a good place for opportunity.
Nice. Right, Usain Bolt, give me the lowdown. Talk me through from start to finish. Like, how does he book? Do you get a text from like Usain with his plus whatever fucking Jamaica number is that says, "Hi mate, can I get a little massage?" Him in the lands after they've just done the 400 meter relay world record in his little photo. Like, how does that come about?
So sometimes there are athletes that reach out direct. They've asked their current physio, or they've asked a manager, or they've got somebody that represents them, or they know somebody in the region. And occasionally I'll get like a +1 WhatsApp, which is obviously the US, or wherever they're from. I'll see the area code come in, and I know that it's an unusual message, because usually we get 971 right for Dubai. Almost always it's an agent, but sometimes it is an athlete direct. So his agent and representative, it was actually through Expo, got in touch with me. So he was here for Expo 2020 to run the 10K fun run.
Right.
Usain Bolt is known as being the world's fastest man over 100 and 200 meters. He's not really used to running 10Ks. So so the next day after he did that, I saw him in his hotel in the address in JBR, where he was tired, he was sore, not very talkative.
That's a
but really, really cool experience. Like, I used to be an athlete too. Like, I was a track runner.
Did you not do diving as well?
I was a diver as well, so Scotland and Great Britain for athletics and diving when I was in my youth. I used to run track. It was my first like love of sport. 9 years old, down the athletics track 2-3 times a week. I watched him on the TV like growing up. And I was a hurdler, 400 meter and 110 meter hurdles. So I was a sprinter. I would watch him. I would idolize him. So to kind of go full circle and be trusted with athletes like that as a therapist so cool. It was really cool for me.
Yeah, that is that's a massive milestone. Like, I watch football and stuff. I'm not massively into sport, but like everyone knows Usain Bolt. Like, he is incredible. So that is a super cool one. Who's the coolest person from your perspective? Obviously we've spoken about Usain Bolt, we've spoken about others. Is there anyone else that's like, that was a really cool one, a big kind of milestone?
Rather than sort of milestones, I don't really have anyone that I like idolize in terms of I'd like to give them treatment, but I get a lot of really cool like fitness influencers that a lot of people know. One of my favorites was Rob Lipsett. He's a really cool guy, very, very chatty, full of energy. I'm surprised I could get him to lie down on the table for an hour, because he's that full of energy. Another one that a lot of people know, who I've been his therapist for about 3 years. I never post anything because he's a very private guy, and I respect a lot of that with my clients, is Iman Gadzi. And the first day I met him, he was 21, and I just left the appointment and I was like, wow, what an interesting and like what an interesting and successful and grounded young man. And now he's 24 and doing crazy things, and it's cool to have seen him on his journey. Someone else that's very interesting is a guy called Dr. Green. Maximilian White is his name. He's a cannabis marijuana billionaire, and he's just launched an NFT that's funded or supported by like some crazy like American stars like Rick Ross and some other like big rappers and stuff. And I was with him when he had the idea for this NFT project, and then to see that go full circle.
Because you were at the opening party like a couple of weeks ago or something.
Correct.
Launch party.
So what's really cool is I spend a lot of time with a lot of people that are in the headlines or in front of the camera a lot, but I know them very personally from inside their home, and I hear them talk about ideas, or I hear them talk about things that they're going to do, and then a year later, 6 months later, they've done what they said they're going to do, and it's super impressive, and it makes you understand and realize how these people are successful, because they say that they're going to do something and then they go do it.
And is that the thing that you think sets them apart? Is that like the one thing that you see that's like, they just think about it and then they go and do it? Or is there anything else that you see from like personally knowing these people?
I think they execute. They have an idea, they say they're going to do it, and then they do it. And a lot of these people, what they have in common is that they are disciplined and they are dedicated. all of my clients on my weekly schedule are all ultra high net worth individuals, or they're all ultra successful. They're in the headlines. They're influencers with millions of followers across multiple platforms. So these people are above average people, but it's because they're doing above average things, and they're probably putting in above average effort, and that's maybe what's setting them apart. Is they say they're going to do something and they really do try their hardest to go do it.
Yeah, it makes sense. Right, let's switch gears a little bit. So this was going to be a positive, but it sounds like it might be a little bit of maybe not from our conversation before we started. You were going to be partnering with one of the biggest gyms here to do recovery spaces and stuff like that. What's going on?
So this might be an interesting turn for conversation. My business started off as me with a massage bed going around doing mobile sports massage. Then it progressed to a team. And then it progressed to having a location that was sort of part-time where we put a therapist in. And then we got offered to be in more locations and have more sort of recovery rooms or therapy rooms in different gyms, different sports facilities around the city. And I trialed it myself by opening my own in January 2023. And I closed it in December 2023. So it lasted 10 months, 11 months. Lots of reasons as to why it failed. Some were my fault and down to me. Some were out with my control. Some of these reasons why it didn't work. But ultimately, it didn't work, and I went on to try and find something new. So the opportunity came across my desk to partner up with Gym Nation, who is the largest gym company in the region. 15 gyms, they might even have opened more, 80,000 members.
Wow.
And they wanted me to come in and create the recovery offering for the gym. So if you're in the fitness space, or even if you're not, you can't go on social media without seeing a sauna and an ice bath, or somebody getting in an ice bath and putting it on their story, get ready with me, that kind of stuff. Like,
or somebody saying fucking idiots in ice baths. It's either like you do it or you hate people that do it.
Yeah, absolutely. And the people that do it love to tell, I do it, and I tell everybody that I do ice baths, and I'm in them every day, and I take a video of it. So every gym and every sports facility is starting to offer it, and if you don't, you're going to fall behind. So ice bath, saunas, stretch therapy, massage, compression boots, you name it, it's getting added into the offerings of basically every gym, especially the commercial ones. So I came in to help these guys build that service offering. And it was all looking extremely promising, and I was going to be opening multiple facilities in multiple gyms. And I started to do things that I'm not good at. So I am very good with people, very good at building rapport. I'm excellent with my hands and fixing people and solving problems, getting rid of injuries, and then also building a team of people that are good at what I'm good at and helping them get better at it. And then all of a sudden, I am a recruiter. I am a contract writer. I am creating SOPs. I am the marketing and media guy. I'm doing the copy for the websites. I'm finding stock in China that's suitable. I'm doing site visits and looking at room sizes. I'm opening door handles to see if there's enough space for all of the stuff that I don't do and I'm not an expert at, I started to do, as well as sort of trying to business develop, which, as an entrepreneur, naturally you're a business development officer, right, for your own business. But I was doing that plus the job of 5 other people. I was wearing every hat and trying to run DXB Sports Massage and see my own clients and manage my team. Exactly. And I took my eye off the ball with that. The revenue there dropped. I started focusing on this other project. And I was just unable to do everything. And consequently, the deal that we had going on severed. I walked away from the project, but I learned an awful lot. I was working on this project for nearly a year, about 10 months, and I learned a lot. And I've got loads of respect for the guys in the Gym Nation office. They're building a beast, and they are developing their gym all across the region. They're going to be opening everywhere, and they've got a great team and a great office that put everything together and make things. I can see why it works. I can see why they're successful. Unfortunately, at this time, I just wasn't ready to keep up with them. I was like a small shark swimming underneath a big shark, or like the bird on top of a rhino kind of thing. And I just couldn't keep up this time. But hey, there'll be other projects. Already we've been offered space in other sports facilities. So I learned a lot in the last year. But unfortunately, that project's not happening anymore. Thanks for asking about it. But it's okay to try something and shoot for the stars and miss.
Yeah. I mean, I can see how it's happening because my deal that you know about at the NEC in Birmingham, doing the biggest luxury glamping site in the UK, if I'd known that it was even going to be 10% as hard or 10% as expensive as it's been, I would have laughed and said, well, I can't do that. I was fortunate or unfortunate that I got so far that I kind of couldn't turn back, and I just had to fucking deal with it. But yeah, I can see how when, you know, I still have days when I think I've bitten off more than I can chew here. And it sounds like you've maybe got out at the right time before, you know, you choked on what you've bitten off.
I mean, all I can say is at least we didn't get to the point where our facilities had started to open, and then I was unable to handle the responsibility and the financials that was coming. Yeah. So yeah, maybe I did get out at the right time. I don't even know if get out is the right phrase, but after saying that I'm unable to fulfill what I said I could, oh, fuck, I felt amazing. Yeah. Man, I was so stressed. It took all my time, all my energy, a lot of my money to make it work, and it didn't work. Yeah. And now that I'm going back to focusing on just the couple of projects that I have rather than trying to get another one, I've dropped my ego. I don't need to grow that huge business at the moment. Just I've given everything a haircut and focusing on making things efficient. Yeah.
It's interesting you're saying that because I'm having conversations with people that are exact same, grow, big. And the same with me. Like, I went through such a spell where I was like, revenue, let's make it bigger. That's like, it's such a false economy, revenue and big and growth, because like, you end up just building this snowball that needs more and more snow to keep going, and you can't do it. Like, one day sooner or later, the snowball's going to crash and burn. And I'm transitioning so much away from that now, and it sounds like you're potentially doing the same.
Yeah, I think I had an ego, right? I think a lot of business people do. Yeah, especially if you want to be successful, if you're driven. Like, I was a very successful athlete, and to be at the top as an athlete, you need to be in the warm-up area with your confidence and with your ego. You need to be confident in what you do, you're confident in your execution, confident when you go to training, and that builds it. Confident that you can lift that weight in the training room because it's going to make you better. And it's the same in business. You need to be confident that you can do the things, going back to what I said at the start, that you can do the things that you say that you're going to do. But having that confidence can also and does also bring an ego, which I definitely had, and I wanted to be the biggest sports massage business in the UAE. I wanted to be the biggest recovery center in the UAE. I wanted to have the most staff, and people go, oh wow, is that what you're doing? That's really, but that bigger doesn't mean better.
It really does.
And you know what? I was at my happiest and probably most like financially and time free when there was only 3 or 4 people on the team.
I thought you were going to say even sooner. I thought you were going to say when I was in my Nissan Micra.
Not quite. When there was only 3 or 4 people in the team, everybody was full. Everybody was happy. I had time that I could dedicate to my staff. I met them every week. I had my clients, and I could, if I wanted to go on holiday, I could go on holiday. If I wanted to go out for dinner, I could go out for dinner. I had a good relationship with my friends, my girlfriend at the time. Like, it was, everything was good at that small size. And I wanted to grow before I had the systems. And now I know that I need to have the systems and have the answers to the questions that are going to come. But you don't know what you don't know, so I didn't know those questions were going to come. I didn't need to know, or I didn't know what I needed.
You didn't know it existed.
And now I do know some of the things I need to know to grow again. When I'm ready to push that button, I'll be much more prepared. I hope.
Go on.
No, I hope. Inshallah.
Yeah. Fucking inshallah. That word. It might mean yes, it might mean no, it might mean maybe. Who knows? Whatever. You're raising your own personal profile a lot. What's the story there?
You probably see on any social media, or if you talk to any business person these days, any mentors, personal brand. I think personal brand's important, and I've not been that good at sort of pushing it. I'm very good with people, and I'm very good at talking, and what I do for a job I'm very good at, and I'm very confident with it and confident with my knowledge. And I keep it to myself and my clients. I've never really been fixated on having loads of Instagram followers or like a blue tick or whatever, but I am interested in being recognized for doing a good job, whatever that might be. In terms of business and I guess numbers and sort of brand awareness, for what we do, we are the market lead in the city. rather than just being market lead, like I want to be an authoritative figure. You know, I want people to listen to what I'm saying, and for me to voice my thoughts and my opinions, so that I can get called out if I'm wrong, or if somebody wants to challenge, they can do that. Or the main priority is to pass on education and pass on my knowledge, and have people go, okay, that guy does know his stuff. I'm going to listen to him. Or not even to be an inspiration, but I do get a lot of messages from people that are like, it's really cool to see what you're doing. Yeah. By the way, I've just graduated as a physio, or I'm a sports massage therapist. How did you start your business? How do you do this? Can I come and work for you in Dubai? Do you have any openings? And that's really cool. And I think by doing more of the talking to the camera, posting about myself, what I know, what I do, what my expertise are, I can see that it's building a community, but also like instilling a bit of kind of confidence and hope in other people, which is really cool.
Yeah, that is cool. Right, final one before we go into the darker side, the bits you don't see. What is your proudest moment of everything we said there, or anything else?
Oh, good question. I think probably working with some of the stars that I see on TV. Some of these guys that I watch fight in the UFC. I've been their sports massage therapist, or I've been their physio. Seeing one of my friends and a guy that I've worked with, Brendan Loughnane, win the PFL World Championships in 2022. And then I was in Saudi 2 weeks ago to watch him fight for the final again, 2024, having done the physio with him the week prior to prep him for his fight. And I think that's my proudest moment, is working with these. So they don't even need to be top class athletes, man. Somebody just working with Lily. I prepped her for this event, and she ran from Abid. She ran 100 kilometers, like basically without stopping, injury free. Like that's what I'm proud of, is seeing the people that I work with achieve things. Yeah,
that is really cool. I like that. Right, let's move on to some of the bits that you don't see. So, I know quite a lot of your shit, so I'm not going to just start, outing you on this and outing you on that. What are some of the bits that people don't see that, is the kind of dark side to all of that light that we've just spoken about?
About business,
life, what you're doing.
Do you know what the hardest thing, and I think the thing that people stress about, and also they don't really talk about, is kind of taboo, is money. Like borrowing from your friend to pay somebody else that you've borrowed from to pay the staff that you said that you were going to pay. You know how it is. I think people don't talk about this enough, because I've done it. I'm in a small business, and other small business owners absolutely will have done it too.
Do it at some point.
The toughest thing is you've got commitments to people. Predominantly financially, right? Let's say, for example, you've got 10 staff. At one point, we were working with like 10 staff in Dubai in DXB Sports Massage. I think actually maybe even a little bit more. And at the end of every month, these people are looking at you to get paid. And particularly in Dubai, where you have to pay for visas, you have to pay for healthcare. There are various other things that just pop up. You're paying your VAT, you're paying bills, somebody comes in with marketing, they need more uniform, whatever it is. There's so many things that you need to pay for that you don't necessarily think about as an employee or as somebody who hasn't gone on this journey. And if you don't manage it properly, you run out of money. And then payday's coming up. And maybe it's not that busy that month. And then you still need to pay these people. So that can be a really tricky one, and that's dark. I think most entrepreneurs stress about money the most, but and I think it's when there's a deadline to give it to the people that are depending on them, because there's been times where I've not taken a salary, like the company hasn't paid me, and maybe I've taken some money out of the business to pay for a bill, but I know how much I'm billing for the business. I know how much money I'm putting in, and maybe sometimes someone in your team actually isn't working that hard, or isn't putting in definitely not the work that you are, but you're paying them more than you're paying yourself because there are bills to pay for.
Or you're not getting paid and you're putting in your personal money to pay them on payday.
I've been there as well.
I've been there.
But then that's part of having a business. It's part of learning. I think it's part of entrepreneurship. I think it teaches you to be a planner. I'm not a particularly cross the T and dot the I kind of guy. I'm not good with spreadsheets. I'm not good with numbers. I'm extremely good at all of the front of house stuff. So when it gets to the back end, planning, etc., and there's nobody there to help you, but you're gonna do it anyway. That's where I've gone wrong. And ultimately you could be watching this and think, well, Toby, that's poor planning. Or well, Toby, that's poor management. Absolutely it is. But I'm excellent at other things.
Yeah.
And I think it's about recognizing when you either need to bring somebody in to handle that stuff for you, or you need to, before you start doing that again, just don't make the same mistake twice. Don't be an idiot.
That's a big thing.
And if you do, look at why it's happened twice. So I have another business, Recovery on Demand, and it's a rental business for saunas, ice baths, hyperbaric chambers, red light therapy, PMF mats, you name it, anything that makes you live longer, or anybody that can record it on Instagram and say, look at how good I am to myself. And I've got a business partner, Joe, and that guy crosses T's and dots I's. Oh my God.
That's good though.
Yeah.
That's good that you've got the two sides of it.
So now we are very different people. I'm very extrovert and talkative and do a lot of sort of introductions and get the brand out there in terms of word of mouth, etc. And he is the engine. He is like the sports car engine, and I'm just the sports car body, let's say. So
that's great. Obviously we spoke about cash flow. That was going to be one of the first things that I mentioned. Something that I think is massively impactful, particularly, well, anyone in Dubai really, is, and you touched on it, times of the year. So summer, everyone goes home. Your bills are probably not a million miles away in, July, August, as they are in January or February. What's that like?
Dubai's very seasonal. Absolutely. Like at the moment, it's peak season, and we are rammed. There's not a moment to breathe for me or anybody on the team, which is great. But then in the summer, it's the opposite. A lot of our clients are very wealthy. The wealthy people leave Dubai for the summer, so they're gone 4 weeks, 6 weeks, 8 weeks, and that's a lot of our cash flow gone. And then we need to look for it elsewhere. So there are a lot of people that stay in Dubai, but then it's the summer, it's quiet, people are being a bit frugal with their money.
They'll expect deals as well, probably.
Yeah, exactly. You've got to put on offers or lower your pricing without devaluing your business and your service, which is also very difficult. Like our discounts are a good thing, absolutely, but it depends how you structure them and how you market and sell them. But like at the moment it's super busy, so it should be all hands on deck. But like it's Christmas time, it's winter time, it's let's go on holiday and go skiing time. So the iron is hot right now. Let's strike when the iron's hot. But there are some people that have that opposite. Oh, but it's the holidays, so I'm gonna take it easy because it's the holidays because everyone else is. But if you're running a business, like you have to take the busy times and grab them. And then going back to talking about cash flow, now it's peak season. Like from October, November to April is like typically when my business is the most busy. So we need to really capitalize on that so that in June, July, August, when it is dead, there's something to fall back on.
What do your guys do in July and August? Are they like on salaries? Are they doing something else? What happens then?
So I've got a mix of plans with my team. Some of them are on a basic salary and then a target. And then after they reach a target, they start earning commission on top of their basic. And then I work with some freelancers whom they're on a percentage or a fixed rate per appointment that we give them. And then I have some that are on like 0-hour contracts, so they kind of choose when they work. They don't really get their salary as such, but they're on an agreed commission split. So when it comes to the summer, the guys on commission, hopefully they are looking for clients, right? Just like we are, to give them to them, because if they work, they get paid. But if they work, the business makes money to stay in business. And the guys on a salary, well, we just have to make sure that they're busy. But that's when we really kind of have to hop on the January, February, March of Dubai when we're busy and get them busy. Because I said to somebody the other day, this time of year is when we get our business for the rest of the year. So what we're very good at as a company and as a team is, you come and see us for a sports massage or you have an injury, we will sell you the knowledge or give you the knowledge of maintenance and why maintenance is important, or servicing, just like you have to get your car serviced and it beeps at you every 15k. It's the same as your body. So we sell maintenance and prevention. And so now when it's busy, that's when we get that sort of retention through the year. So hopefully the contracted members of staff are getting lots of people into their schedule so that they can hang on to them for the rest of the year. Yeah,
that's clever. That makes a lot of sense. Staff, you have quite a big staff turnover. What's the story there?
Dubai is a transient place, so there are people coming and going. There are always people looking for the next best thing as well.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people, you'll see it in every industry.
Yeah.
They come into Dubai on a salary of 10k. Then they get offered a salary of 12.
Yeah.
And then they find somewhere that gives them 20.
Yeah.
And so they're just bouncing from one to the other. Dubai is also full of winners.
Yeah.
You're surrounded by winners here. You're surrounded by people that want to do more. So people are coming to Dubai because they want something. They want success. That maybe they want to work for themselves. So there are a lot of small businesses that are stepping stones for these people.
Yeah.
So one lad that worked with me, Jake, he won't mind me using his name. He was a teacher.
Yeah.
And I pulled him out of teaching and got him back into this game, which is sports rehab, physio, sports massage. But he told me from the get-go, look, I don't want to do sports massage forever. I'm really interested in other things. But
that's good. It's good he was clear from the start.
100%, and I really respect him.
And that's
for
probably
that.
why you're happy to say just now, and he'll be happy about you talking. Yeah,
and we're still friends. We refer clients to each other. It's not a problem. So he was at school as a teacher, and then came into my business. He was working in my business for around about a year, and now he's gone on to do his own thing. So it was a stepping stone job for him. But there are also people I've employed. They've come in and they think that they can do it better, or they come in to see what the lay of the land is like in Dubai, and then they go, I'm going to do my own thing. So it happens, and I think it's a nature of Dubai and the people that come to Dubai. Because look at real estate, for example. How many real estate companies are there? And I know so many guys that went into real estate around about COVID time. They did it for a couple of years now. They've started their own businesses. There's their own real estate companies, and they're being successful. And it doesn't take away from the companies that they joined. And I'm happy to help people that want to grow as well, because a candle doesn't lose flame when it puts flame on another candle, right? So
I like that.
So I'm happy for people to come in, but there's a lot of things that happen in Dubai where people are not as honest. They're using other people. They are using dirty tactics. They're stealing things like data, etc. They're going round and behind your back. So you have to be careful who you help, but you don't want to, then not help anybody. For fear of somebody fucking you, because
100%.
you're gonna get fucked if you're running a business and you're employing people.
Yourself,
and
if you do
100%.
That's the only person.
So I'm happy to help people. I'm happy to see other people grow. If you go through my Instagram DMs, I am constantly gassing up people that are doing well. And I try not to badmouth the people that have done me dirty, but it happens. People will do you dirty, and that happens in business. People will come work with you and then fuck you, but then people will come work with you, stick with you, be loyal, and be with you from the end. Like Alexandra in my business came in and has done nothing but be supportive for the whole time that she's here, and she was rewarded by getting equity in the business, and she's still with the business, and she's our longest standing employee.
Good. Yeah, exactly. And there's the flip side of it. I think you're spot on as well on the region. It's just, you have so many people here that want everything, and it's a good stepping stone. They get here, they get the lie of land, and off they go. So that's citywide thing, countrywide thing. I mean, we probably all know people that have worked for about 4 different real estate companies, so it's definitely a mark of the area. Talking of that, I set up my business here and it catastrophically failed. It is such a tough region to work in. What are some of the other challenges that you face here, working in Dubai and the Middle East as a whole?
Growing a team here can be hard for the reasons that we just mentioned about people being transient, coming and going, looking for the next best thing. Some of the other things that are hard to navigate could be like religion and culture. There are so many different people speaking different languages with different beliefs, different backgrounds, different education, and sitting in a room with somebody and trying to get them to understand something that you want them to can be extremely difficult. Or there are certain people here whom they have a level of understanding, or maybe even intelligence, but it's not their fault. It's because of the education and where they've come from, and that can be challenging sometimes to keep your cool, to not expect too much from people, but then also to reflect, like, have I actually shown this person it, like, unequivocally, like,
this is exactly
this is how it should be done. And I'm very guilty for, like, asking people to do a task and then expecting them to do the task the way that I want it, without telling them how I want it done. How are they going to do that? And then
getting annoyed that they've not done it how you want them to do it.
So there's that. There's maybe the language barrier, the culture, the education difference. Some other differences or difficulties are, my company is a massage company.
Yeah.
Now, if you type massage Dubai into Google, there might be a couple other things that come up. And maybe people are expecting April from Diamond Spa with the neon lights round the corner to come round the house and ask how they'd like their massage to end. So navigating that in Dubai has been difficult as a massage business. Like, I'll give you an example. We had to switch off our ads when we were running ads. Like, our business is run entirely on word of mouth, which I'm very proud of because we do a great job. But we were running ads at one point when a new member of staff came in and we wanted to get them busy fast. Yeah. And we had to switch them off between 8 p.m. and 5 a.m. because at this time, this is when our phone would go crazy for... Send picture. Can I see the girls? How many shots? Can I come?
Just a ginger Scottish man, like, hello.
Yeah. So we've had to navigate that. Oh, send me photos of the girls. You know, what extras do you do? And that's made operating in this region quite tricky because there's that little bit of sort of preconception when it comes to the word massage in Asia, in this part of the world. Yeah.
And your massages are anything but happy endings, or very sore endings.
Sad ones only. And usually promoted with an elbow or a thumb somewhere that you'd rather it not be.
Brutal stuff. And I was going to say something terrible there, but I didn't. Have you ever been massaging somebody and you've been like, "Can I have a happy ending?"
And they've asked.
Yeah.
Yes.
What have you asked?
I've never asked anybody, would you like me to do this for you, sir, madame? I've been in some situations where I've been offered things.
What would you say?
No. But everybody's got a price, I'm sure.
No? How'd you say no? You're like, oh, no, sorry.
Okay, I don't know where this podcast is getting aired, but I will tell you a story. And I won't say who they were, what country they were from, what hotel they were in, but the manager of the hotel, whenever they have VIP guests, contacts me. If they're looking for massage treatments. And I went to this hotel and it was the top floor presidential suite and the lights were off, the curtains were drawn. I didn't bring my massage table in because I was told that it was already there. There were some towels laid out and the man came into the room in a robe and said, can you play some music? I thought, okay, odd request. Lucky my phone's got some battery. Yes, what kind of music? Oh, relaxing. Spa music on Spotify. Put it on, turned the volume up, left it by the massage bed. And then I just turned around and the dude's dropped his robe. And we've got a strict no nudity policy with our business. Anyways, he comes and lies down on the massage table, so I pick up a towel and I cover him. He's lying face down. And
would we know him? Don't say names, but like, would I know this person?
Many people in the region would know these people, some of these people, So, I'm going to get cancelled, aren't I? That's it, I'm getting driven.
I can't wait to get cancelled. This is why I'm doing this.
I'm getting driven into the desert in a Nissan Patrol. No one's going to see me again. And so I started the treatment on his calves. Can you go slower, please? Yes. Can you go lighter, please? Yes. And then I'm like, okay, I kind of got the vibe already. But, and then, he just kept on changing position of his legs and of his hips and stuff. And like he would pull the towel and push it on the floor and I'd pick it up and put it back on and stuff. And when I'd finished the back of his body, I'd actually only finished his legs and he turned over. He said, I'm going to turn over now. You can massage the front. So he turns over. It's obvious that this gentleman is aroused. So I get another towel and lay it on top. And I don't know the audience for this podcast, but you know how men, you can make the duvet bounce, right? You know what I'm talking about.
He's got a little canopy.
So he's making a tent with his towel, So I get the towel and I put another one on top and another one on top. And I know the pressure points of the body, so I went up to his shoulder and started massaging into his chest, like pretty hard. His excitement obviously dropped as soon as he figured out that was not the type of massage session that he was getting. He said, okay, finished. And we were about 35 minutes into a 90-minute session. And I said, okay, no problem. And he said how much, and I named a price that was 4x what I usually charge, and he just... There you go. So, these types of things happen in my industry. Men and women.
Nice. Interesting. Right, coming to the end, because if we've not been cancelled yet, then we'll stop whilst we're still ahead. What are the worst days like? Like, I mean, I've had days I've been on the floor like, oh my god, I am fucked. What are they like?
I think one of the difficulties is relationships, and probably definitely I've lost relationships through trying to grow my business, friendships, girlfriends, because you ultimately you change, and hopefully for the better, but maybe sometimes for the worse. So one of the girls I was dating for quite a long time, when we first met, I'll give you an example. Oh, babe, what time do you finish work? Oh, I finish work at 6. I can't wait to see you. Fast forward a year and a half, 6 or 7 extra staff, 100,000 dirhams per month extra overhead. What time do you finish work? I finish at 6. I told you yesterday. Why are you asking me? Can you see the difference? And that's horrible to be with. So
it's good you recognise that.
So that's probably one of the toughest things in terms of like bad days. Like when you realise that, when the penny drops and you think, wow, that's what the stress has done to me. But you're not like that all the time. And you are still yourself. Just all of the
95%.
time. So that's probably the hardest, is like when you look back in retrospect and recognise those types of things. And then hopefully you can understand how to not allow that to happen again. And even in my current relationship, I know that's happening on my stressful days. So that's hard, and those are some of the hardest days, is when you realize that you're actually being a dick to the people that are really trying to help you. But it's so easy to do that to the people 100%. That are next to you. Just treat them like a dick because you feel like, because you're frustrated. And then some of the other ones are like long days, man. You get up in the morning, you don't have time to do the stuff that you want to do, because you've got to do the stuff that other people should have done, or you need to do for other people, or you need to just get up and do the stuff that needs to be done to progress and move forward. And before you know it, 16 hours have gone past, you haven't eaten, and then you go, haven't been to the gym yet, you get into bed, you can't sleep because you're thinking about all the shit that you didn't do, all the stuff that you still need to do, and then you get up again like 5 hours later and you do it all over again. And then you get burnt out, and you're easily run down, you're easily agitated. Those are the shitty times.
100%. I agree with all that. So let's take you back to the day you're standing, you're about to go down the path you've gone down, set up DXB Sports Massage, do all the stuff that you're going to do. If you could go back to that day, you turn right to still do that, you turn left to not do that and do something else, what way would you turn?
I would do it.
You would do it?
100%. Yeah.
Good. Every
time. I would do it differently. Everybody would do something better, like hopefully better the second time around. I would do it differently, but I would do it again. 1,000,000%.
Good. And everyone that I've spoken to has been the exact same, and it's funny because this is obviously about the bits you don't see, the bad bits, and there's so many bad bits. And I'm the exact same. Like snap, absolutely, 100%. I'd do it again. Exactly as you say, do it differently, but do it again.
Yeah.
Right, we've got a little tradition on this podcast. Previous guests leave a question and a quote for the next people. So there's a couple of questions in here.
Okay.
Take your pick, read out the question and answer it, and then I'll get one from you afterwards as well.
Who's your biggest role model and why? There are a couple of clients that I have who are extremely successful men and women. And some of them are famous, some of them aren't. And when they tell me about the things that they're doing or the things they've gone through that nobody on social media or whatever knows, then it's always inspiring to me. So a lot of my clients, without sort of choosing a celebrity or whatever, are role models of mine. Probably my housemate Jamie as well, actually. And I hate that I'm saying this because he's gonna love that.
I want to get him on. I can't wait to get him on.
But Jamie's like my big brother, and he tells me what I'm doing wrong all the time. But he's got a lot of things going on. And although it seems like, I think similar to me, seems like from the outside shit's together, on the inside it's not. But he's always working hard. I always go to him for a question if I've got a problem or whatever. So definitely I look up to him. And then finally, long answer to this question, my dad. And I hope there's loads of men sitting in this chair that say that their dad's their role model, because that's what I'd like to be when I have kids. nobody worked harder, man. He wasn't around a lot when I was a kid because he was working, but he was working for us.
Yeah.
And that guy worked hard. That guy's smart, and he's a big role model for me too.
That's cool. I like that. And then finally a quote.
Okay.
Take your pick. And then let us know what you think of it as well.
I hope it's not going to be the same as the one I'm going to write. I can't. I think that says, if you're going through hell, keep going. Why would you stop in hell?
Yeah.
All right, I like that one.
Yeah.
I feel like that was like a Chris Williamson quote or something. Anyway.
Yeah.
Nice.
I like that.
Yeah.
It's very relevant, I think, to probably quite a lot of what we do.
100%.
Right, well, thank you very much, Toby, for coming on. Thank you, everyone at home, for listening. We've obviously had a very cool guest today. Please hit the subscribe button so I can get an even cooler one next time. Thank you very much, mate, for coming along. It's been great.
Nice one, Callum.